Hello, Taurus Sun sign and Taurus Ascendant. This is your forecast for April 2016. And this month, I would say, is really all about a couple of things for you. It's about slowing down in life and recharging your batteries, first of all. And I think that might be on every level: mental, emotional, physical, and especially spiritual, which is my next point. It has to do with getting in touch with your spirituality. So what I would say for you is periods where you can spend alone time in quiet contemplation, sorting through your thoughts and feelings about where you are in your life, is going to be a sacred time for you. This is a period to kind of sift through data and seek out clarity, seek out some answers. So you're going to find that maybe things like meditation or prayer or studying spiritual subjects, and definitely things like journaling. Again, just getting out your story from like pen to paper or talking into a recorder. I really just see a need for you to learn the lessons that you're needing to learn, and make sure that you're on path with achieving your goals. Okay, so that's the big point of emphasis for you this month. Now, this first week of April is quite dynamic. There's a lot of stuff going on. So you got your sun going through the 12th, which is what I was just talking about, recharging in spiritual energy, just getting in touch with that. Now, April 5th, the sun makes a really powerful trine aspect to Saturn. Saturn's in your 8th. So the 12th, the 8th, and also the 4th are the water houses, okay? And what I would say for you is, with this energy, it's a really good period for you to not only seek out clarity, but to get some answers. So any kind of detective work, doing any kind of problem solving, you're going to be very effective. It is going to require you to do some soul searching, some digging, maybe in some ways writing things out. But I definitely see you being able to figure things out, to understand what's going on, okay, and to learn the lesson, as I was saying. Now, April 6th, the sun makes a square aspect to the planet to the planet Pluto. And Pluto is in your 9th house. And square aspects always symbolize, to a certain degree, challenges or conflicts, potentially, or stress. And some of this clarity that I see that you need to search for is going to have to do with your belief systems. So maybe you've got some toxic belief systems from your past, maybe even dating all the way back to your childhood. And I see really this month is a great opportunity for you to understand where those belief systems came from, to question them, and to replace those belief systems with more empowering belief systems. So just as a quick example, maybe you got something from a relative where you feel like people can't be trusted. So you have to ask yourself, A, where'd that come from? And B, is that really true? Can I not trust anyone? So it's really just about deciding to become empowered, deciding to have belief systems that work for you instead of holding you back or working against you. Also on April 6th, you've got Venus going into Aries. And what I would say is, wherever Venus goes in your chart, it shows a shift into you valuing whatever area of the chart it goes into. So in the 12th house, it's going to be a bit more of the same. It's valuing your alone time, valuing your spiritual path, learning and growing as a person, again, valuing getting clarity. And also all this is about is seeking out inner peace. Now, April 9th, the sun aligns with the planet Uranus. Now, it could be the day before, the day of, or the day after, but this is definitely a period where you might have some enlightenment, so to speak, where you can have this out of the blue moment of eureka. Oh my God, this is what I need to do, or that's why I've been not doing what I need to do, or whatever it is. I just see you getting a great moment of understanding. Okay, so in a sense, it's like a download from the universe on what you need to do, or what your clearest and best strategy should be. So it's definitely a good period to mark on your calendar. April 17th, Mars goes retrograde until June 29th. So it's in your 8th house, and you also have Saturn retrograde in your 8th house. So again, that's one of the water houses. And the way that I look at this energy is with 2 planets retrograde in the same house. This is really saying you have to tap the brakes a little and pay attention. And the 8th house, the way that I like to phrase it is, it's basically where you need to weed your garden. And what I would say for you is you have to do a little bit of homework, and again, maybe some soul searching. What is really holding me back? Why aren't I where I should be? And it can be that there are toxic people around you, or situations that aren't really good for you, or again, it can be negative beliefs that you have to pull up by the roots. So this is about really pulling up those weeds and planting new, more empowering seeds for yourself. And then finally on April 28th, Mercury goes retrograde. Okay, and for you it's going to be in your 1st house. So if you're familiar with Mercury retrograde, all the things that you've read about it are going to be true for you, because the 1st house is an angular house. So just a brief astrology lesson here. The 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th are the angular houses. And whenever a planet is in those houses, it says you're going to feel and notice that energy, and it's just going to be obvious. So Mercury retrograde, make sure that you are articulating your ideas. Make sure you're really getting your point across effectively and that people are listening. Okay? The flip side of it, make sure you're really listening. This can really help you avoid unnecessary miscommunication issues. The next thing, your plans, your strategies could fall apart during this period. Things might not work out the way that you had hoped, and you're going to have to be okay with that. Take a deep breath and be flexible. And lastly, Mercury retrograde is infamous for technology breakdowns, like your computer's acting weird, or the printer's not working correctly, or even your car is unreliable. So really, again, I need to be flexible and patient. Okay, so with that being said, I would say, just to summarize this month, again, it's a time to recharge your batteries and to do a lot of contemplation about where you're at, and figure out what's holding you back in life. At the end of this month, you really should feel more empowered and feel more inner peace, because you've done this homework assignment, so to speak. So I do indeed hope you have a great month, and I'll talk to you next month. Bye-bye.